Okay guys, welcome back. We're doing a deck tech for my Dimensional Robo's standard deck. So the starter I use is Dimensional Robo Goyusha. I really like the Goyusha artwork this time around. It's just super Gundam style, I love it. And of course, Kenji Mitsusada. Kenji Mitsusada is the pilot of this deck in the anime. It can be Force 1 or Force 2, that's why I've got 8 Force 1s, 3 Force 2s. So to start off with, I'll go through the trigger lineup. So your obvious 4 heal, 8 crit, 4 draw. So this is a basic lineup, so we've got 4 Diamond Ace. Diamond Ace is really good because it's the Sentinel for the deck. And then Die Battles, Die Racer, and Go Rescue. They're all Dimensional Robos except for Diamond Ace. I would prefer them all to be Dimensional Robos, but they haven't come up with a draw trigger perfect for Dimensional Robos yet. I was hoping for one, but that doesn't work. Okay, so grade 1s. First off, we go with Dimensional Robo Die Brave. Die Brave skills. Act, Vanguard or Rearguard Circle, once per turn, Soul Blast 1, one of your Vanguards gets plus 5k power until end of turn. And also Rearguard Circle, when your Vanguard's attack hits a Vanguard, put this unit into your soul and draw a card. So it's the card draw of the deck, and it's also gets it higher numbers for skills later on. Next we run 4 Magical Police Quill. It's not a Dimensional Robo, but its effects are really nice. So auto, Vanguard or Rearguard, when placed, discard a card from your hand and one of your Vanguards gets plus 10,000 power until end of turn. So once again, it hits the higher numbers, it's really good. And when your Vanguard attacks, if that unit's power is 30,000 or greater, count plus 1 and draw a card. So this card's really good, just getting that draw power engine going early game, but I only use the second effect very rarely because the counterblasts are needed later in the game. Next, I know this is the wrong artwork, but I couldn't find the correct artwork anywhere. So this is Dimensional Robo Dailiner, but it's got a Miracle Beauty artwork, I think. If your Vanguard's power is 30,000 or greater, your opponent can't intercept it. It just stops those pesky Axel decks just intercepting constantly, which is really good. Next, grade 2s. So I run 4 copies of Platinum Ace. It's not a Dimensional Robo, but its effects are stupidly good. So on Vanguard Circle, during your turn, continuous, this unit gets plus 5,000 power. It's good. It helps hitting those other force numbers really fast and really well. And when it attacks, if your auto Rearguard Circle once per turn. When it attacks, if your grade 3 or greater Vanguard is 30,000 or greater, Soul Blast 1, and this unit gets plus 10,000 plus 1 critical until end of turn. So this itself hits for higher numbers when you're at higher numbers on the Vanguard Circle. So it's really good. And I do actually love the artwork. But it's not a Dimensional Robo, so at some point it might get changed out if other Dimensional Robos take its place. But I'm fine with that. Next, 4 Die Dragon. Die Dragon's there for the first effect mainly, so Act, Vanguard or Rearguard, once per turn, Soul Blast 1, one of your Vanguards gets plus 5,000. Once again, it just gets it to hit those higher numbers really fast. And then, if your Vanguard is 35,000 or greater, this unit gets plus 10,000 power, so it's a good beater in itself when it's on a Rearguard Circle, so it's really, really useful. Next, I run 2 Miracle Dandy. This is actually an optional slot. I like Miracle Dandy because usually when I'm starting to guard things, I am on grade 3 and it gets plus 10,000 power if my Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, so it's a 15k shield at that point in the game, and it's really good. It's really, really good. Let's flip this over correctly. Next, grade 3s. If you haven't kept track so far, there are currently 37 cards in this pile, plus this, that makes 38. So you guessed it, I run 12 grade 3s. I'll go from the back. The less exciting ones. Let's go with 4 Ultimate Dimensional Robo Great Daiyusha. So when placed, 3 of your front row units gets plus 10,000 power. And hand it in the battle if my grade 3 Vanguard attacked. If that if that unit's power is 45,000 or greater, and it was not placed this turn, Counterblast 1, ride this unit as stand, it gets plus 10,000 power until end turns. So once you've hit those high numbers, you get another Vanguard attack. It's really good. So next, this one is slightly more exciting than Daikaiser. This is probably the best card in the deck for how it works. So we go with Super Dimensional Robo Dailiner. During your turn on Vanguard Circle, this unit gets plus 5,000 power for each card in your damage zone. So riding into this first is not that bad, because it can hit for those numbers. But I'll go through the first ride that you want to hit over here. And also at Rearguard Circle, at end of battle that this unit attacked, if your Vanguard's power is 35,000 or greater, Counterblast 1 and put this unit into your soul. And one of your Vanguards gets plus 10,000 power, plus 1 drive until end of turn. So this card is amazing for when you need to hit through like a high defense. Like say if they've got a bunch of triggers on damage, this really helps your Vanguard get through them because it gives it another drive and plus 10,000 power. If you're playing the premium version, you definitely play this because you play Stark, and Stark has 1 drive. You can give it twin drive or triple drive if you've got more of these out. Next, this is the main grade 3 you want to go into, which is Super Dimensional Robo Dailiner. It's amazing. So, continuous, all of your grade 3 units gets plus 10,000 shield, so it turns your grade 3s in hand into shield, equivalent to a grade 1 shield, which is amazing. And then you've got, once per turn, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, look at 7 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 normal unit from among them, and put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. If you reveal the grade 3, this unit gets plus 20,000 power, plus 1 critical until end of turn. So, that's why I run 12 grade 3s. Because I want to be hitting grade 3s every time I activate this effect. And because it gets plus 20, it almost hits this on its own. With a Force Marker, it definitely hits it. With Die Dragon, it hits it. It's just really, really good. And then Dailiner is really good after you've done this, because you've got really dangerous attack with double crit, and potentially giving it more drive checks. If they don't have a perfect guard, most of the time you are going to hit for game, or get them so far behind in terms of damage they just can't deal with you. So that's the deck. All 50 cards discussed, as well as my Force choices. Force 2 is really good for against. I have the Dailiner Force 2s, which I really like. So, when acquired, put this marker on a Vanguard or Rearguard, and the original critical of that unit there becomes 2. So, this is really good for against protect decks, so they protect the big Vanguard attack, but they might not have the protects for your Rearguard attacks that have double crit. For against Axel and Force decks, Force 1. Always Force 1, because you can hit those higher numbers. You can always get the guaranteed Dailiner. You can always get more hits with higher criticals, as well as just making your board massive. So I really enjoy playing this deck. Goyusha is one of the options. You also have the option of, where are you? Little Hero Draco Kid. This is just spare cards I have for this deck. But Little Hero Draco Kid, it's just a little bit cuter, but I prefer the Goyusha. And to be honest, I can't wait for when Daikaiser comes out, and oh boy, this deck's gonna be done again when that comes out, because it's probably going to include Daikaiser if it has its original effect, which I really hope it does. Anyway guys, I'll see you guys next time. Enjoy yourselves. Ta-ra!